Okay, namaste, tashile everyone. So thank you again for coming to this virtual group practice session. Yeah. Okay, good. I see some live chat. So you can hear us and see us.
No puppy today.
No puppy today. So let's just take a few moments again to begin in the usual way, adjusting our motivation. So again, please think that the purpose of my life is to benefit all sentient beings. And in order that I may be able to benefit all sentient beings in the best way, I must achieve the state of highest and complete enlightenment. Then and only then will I have the ability, the knowledge, the ability to lead all sentient beings to enlightenment in the most effective way. So the enlightenment is a causative phenomena. It arises due to causes and conditions. So if one wants to achieve enlightenment, one has to accumulate the causes, namely the collection of merit and the collection of transcendental wisdom. And then one also needs to purify the mind of all the discordant factors, all the obscurations that prevent one from achieving enlightenment. So namely, the obscurations to both liberation, the primary one being the ignorance that grasps to true existence, which is the root actually of all the other mental afflictions. And then from those mental afflictions arise the negative karma. And then from negative karma arises all the unpleasant suffering sensations that we experience within samsara, and that we have been experiencing in samsara that has no beginning. And even worse, if we're not able to uproot this ignorance grasping to the self, well, our samsara also will have no end. So therefore, please think, no matter what, I need to be free of this ignorance that grasps to true existence. And therefore, I will no longer let my life be under the control of the ignorant mind grasping to the self. But you see, even if we're successful in our practice to uproot the ignorance grasping to the self, then the best we can achieve is mere liberation for ourselves alone from the ocean of samsaric suffering. However, we still would have the very subtle imprints of grasping to true existence within our continuum. These imprints of grasping to true existence are what we call the obscurations to omniscience. This is the primary thing that prevents us from being fully enlightened Buddhas. And these only can be uprooted and purified, abandoned through the correct view of emptiness, conjoined with this mind. So for the Bodhisattva, this is the main thing they're trying to abandon. And so now, although we're not yet Bodhisattvas, we can still have as our motivation for practice this mind of bodhicitta and the wish to abandon even the subtle imprints of ignorance within our minds so that we can achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. So please think in that way. But then not only that, yes, eventually we do want to lead all sentient beings to the highest state of enlightenment, but even from now, we don't want any sentient being experiencing even the slightest suffering of samsara. we only want them to experience happiness, goodness from now on. And therefore, when we look in the world and we see all the problems, all the manifestations of the degenerate age, all the illnesses, all the famine, economic problems, environmental problems, natural disasters, unhappy minds, all of these things we also want to purify from today. Even before we lead sentient beings to enlightenment, we want them to be free of these sufferings within samsara. And therefore, we're also going to do this practice. And then also for the long lives of the spiritual friends, so we can purify the karmic obscurations within the minds of sentient beings that would then have us have the appearance of our gurus manifesting parinirvana, of our gurus manifesting illness or some other obstacle where they then cannot teach and guide us. So to purify these karmas, we're also going to engage in this practice. And then also for the wishes, the holy wishes of the spiritual friends to be manifest right this second, we're also going to do this practice. Great. And then especially so this practice can become most effective for purifying our own negative karma, we need to do it in relation to what's called the 4-point powers. The 4-point powers being regret, refuge, remedy, and resolve. So yes, we're going to karma since the beginning of this time. So just at the beginning, just do a little bit of reflection, thinking all of the negative karma, all of the 10 non-virtues, all the broken and degenerated vows, all of the 5 karmas without break, and especially all of the negative karma created in relation to the spiritual friend, as well as our Vajra brothers and sisters. From beginningless time till now, we've done these not once, but many, many times. And then, of course, even in this life, even after we've met Dharma, still haven't cut off the stream of negative karma. At least I'm talking for myself. So seeing the faults of having these negative karmas within our mental continuum, even one of which can then throw us into an unfortunate rebirth for many, many, many lifetimes. Seeing how even one of these negative karmas is so much more dangerous than all the various viruses, all the diseases. Even if we get all the diseases that exist in the world, worst that could happen is we die. But even one of these negative karmas that is left unpurified, that can then project us into an unfortunate rebirth for eons. And then, as Shantideva says, once we take rebirth in the lower realms, we'll have no opportunity to practice. Therefore, there'll be no virtue and only negativity. Therefore, Shantideva says, once then we're reborn in the lower realms, we won't even hear the words a happy rebirth for countless eons. So now, in this session, while we still have this body and mind, this precious human rebirth, while we still have good enough health, while we still have good enough mind, we need to make best use of it by doing this practice, of course, for ourselves to purify, but also on behalf of all sentient beings. So please visualize the Guru in the aspect of Shakyamuni Buddha in the space in front. Remembering his qualities, remembering his kindness, and wishing to develop those qualities within our own mental continuum. Then we offer praise to the Buddha. Lama Tumba Chonden de Sheba Jajumba Yanda Bazobe Sangeri Pada Shasudan Dewa Sheba Jiten Kempa Kebu Kalo Yuvala Name Bala Damina Getumba Sange Chonden Dewa Shage Tumbala Chaselo Chudun Katsuji Lama Tumba Chonden de Sheba Jajumba Yanda Bazobe Sangeri Pada Shasu Dempa Dewa Sheba Jiten Kempa Kebu Kalo Lana Meba Lada Minangi Tumba Sange Chonden de Pergewa Shagya Tumba Chaselo Chudu Katsuchi Lama Tumba Chonden de Sheba Jajumba Yanda Bazobe Sangeri Pada Shasu Dempa Dewa Sheba Jiten Kempa Kebu Kalo Lana Meba Lada Minangi Tumba Sange Chonden de Pergewa Shagya Tumba Chaselo Chudu Katsuchi Kanse Kane So Kyudanse Sashin Dila Gomba Dumbone Nami Jiten Dina Choche Son Dese Kepa Kyula Chas Nanda Kona Jodu Susanwa Yeshi Gyasu Segi Lumbodra Drapa Jiten Suna Lamewa Gombo Juni Kyula Chas Zelo Senjo Demba Jime Daweshe Sedo Dawa Kyula Chas Zelo Dede Kyula Sipa Sumaji Nyame Kenchen Kyula Chas Gombo Tuji Chedemba Tache Kempe Tempa Bo Sena Yemten Gyatso Shin Dishi Shila Chas Tabe de Jajawa Gyu Geweng Etso de Joshin Chidu Dundam Shogiramba Shigyu Chela Chas Selo Drone Drowe La Yandu La Pata La Ratuni Shingi Damba Yentende Gidun La Yan Chas Selo Dripa Shija Michashi Gewa Putsun Sopachi Ragi Seni Yonsudu Gini Sangye Tempai Do not commit any unwholesome actions. Engage in perfect wholesome actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a defective view, a butter lamp flame, an illusion, a dewdrop, a water bubble, a dream, lightning, a cloud. See all causative phenomena like this. So now meditate on this verse as we chant the Tibetan. Om Karma Rani Mameda Yuma Zema Chungunda Milam Lolan Duje Chenam Ditarta. Through these merits, may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death.